Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to my channel. My name is Paul, the Canadian Snowman, here with some more geography. Now, I'm doing every country in the alphabet, and we're in the G, so we're on to Guyana. I think that's how you pronounce it. And yeah, know nothing about you guys, but I'm sure you guys are pretty awesome. You got some cool stuff to kind of teach me. At least I hope so. So every country has their own kind of cool, history and drama and all that stuff. So that's what's really interesting about this series is no one is exactly the same. And there's a lot of people that guys that are similar and stuff, but everyone's kind of got their own little thing going on. But anyways, guys, please hit that like and subscribe button below. That helps me a lot. Please and thank you. And yeah, we're gonna get to the video. Do do do. I'm Paul. He's Paul. Good names, right? Hope you guys are having a great day. Just got off work. I'm gonna watch some geography now. 3, 2, 1, bam.
You know how Singapore is like the Switzerland of Asia? Well, Guyana is kind of like the Singapore of South America. No, actually, that's not a good comparison. They don't have the same level. I meant their ethnic. Okay, you know what? Just cue the intro.
Lost.
It's time to learn geography.
No! Hey, everybody, I'm your host, Barbie. Yes, the people here call their country Guyana. It's like if a guy
Guyana
was named Anna.
And that's a problem because...
I didn't say it was. I mean, dude, I go by Barbie.
Dude, did you just assume my...
Okay, this is not one of those YouTube channels. Let's move on. Now, Guyana is kind of strange because geographically, they are completely located on the South American continent, but if you ask a Guyanese person, they'll say that they are Caribbean, even though they don't even touch the Caribbean Sea. First of all, Guyana is located in the northern section of mainland South America, bordered by Venezuela and Brazil and Suriname, with the North Atlantic Ocean flanking the north coast. The country is divided into 10 regions, with the capital along the coast, Georgetown. By the way, the country's shape kind of looks like a fat crucifix. The country has a lot of small regional airports and airstrips, however, the two largest and international airports are both located in Georgetown, Chedi Jagan International, and the smaller one, Eugene F. Correa International. Otherwise, outside Georgetown, Bartica has the largest regional airport. Otherwise, seaports and container terminals can be found all along the coast in places like New Amsterdam, Linden, Essequibo, and of course, Georgetown as well. Now, here's the thing. About 90% of the people live along the coast on only about 10% of the land, with a few outskirt communities, mostly on the east, along the border of Suriname and Brazil. Cross-country driving in Guyana is very limited. I mean, you can take a ferry at Bartica and drive a little bit into the upper Takutu and Potaro Siparuni or Cuyuni Mazaruni regions. However, if you cruise along the coast, you'll stop somewhere around the farming town of Hackney along the Pamaru River, and suddenly everything just kind of dead ends. To this day, there are no roads that lead into the Barima Waini region. The entire population of about 26,000 people are only accessed through river navigation and short jungle landing strips for small planes. In addition, there are no roads that lead into Venezuela. If you want to go there, you will have to drive all the way south, cross at Lethem, and pretty much all the way to Boa Vista, Brazil, and then back.
I guess you guys, if you like 90% of you guys live near the coast, you really don't need, I guess, a whole lot of, if not many people go inland, you don't really need a whole lot of roads, I guess, right? And I'm sure you guys probably use little boats, maybe a lot more. I don't know. Interesting, though, that,
You'll have to drive all the way south, cross at Lethem, and pretty much all the way to Boa Vista, Brazil, and then backtrack up north into Venezuela. This is because they kind of have a partially ongoing dispute with Venezuela. Basically, Venezuela believes that everything west of the Essequibo River should be theirs. Guyana was not having it. Basically, they signed an agreement in Geneva in the 60s, but it didn't really do anything, and today Venezuela is kind of like,
okay, fine. I guess the land is kind of yours now.
Hey, stop building a military base on Ankoko Island. That's our territory.
And then in 2011, Guyana was like,
Hey, UN, I'd like to extend my coast about 150 nautical miles, please.
No, that's our water claim.
No, it literally juts out from our coast, and all nations are entitled to an exclusive economic zone. Okay.
Back off from the Tigri-New River Triangle.
Whoa, no.
Okay, let's agree to withdraw our military forces from the region.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Okay.
Psych!
oh, South American countries, always fighting over land you will never.
That's true. Does Venezuela have like a military base in your country and they're not supposed to? Like, how does it even work? Like, I'm surprised Guyana's not like, try to use their army or, whatnot, their military. They're kind of just like, this is ours now, man, and just take it back, man. That's kind of crazy.
Psych!
Oh, South American countries, always fighting over land you will never inhabit. Otherwise, some top notable sites and landmarks include places like St. George's crumbling colonial townscape with St. George's Cathedral, Demerara Harbor Bridge, one of the longest floating bridges in the world, the headquarters of CARICOM, or the Caribbean Community, the Umanayana Building, the Stopbrook Market, Walter Roth Museum.
I'm sorry, I always stop it, just to kind of point something out. So the floating bridge, you ever been on one of those? So when you drive, can you kind of like feel yourself kind of, like with the waves, maybe kind of feel yourself kind of moving around? Does it feel weird? I think that'd be kind of cool.
Headquarters of CARICOM, or the Caribbean Community, the Umanayana Building, the Stopbrook Market, Walter Roth Museum, Zoological Park, Georgetown Lighthouse, Pandama Winery, and the Radha Krishna Mandir Hindu Temple. Oh my gosh, there's so many cool spots in a place that's like mostly made up of unexplored jungle. Let's see more of that now.
All right.
Basically, Guyana is like a survival-themed reality TV show location shoot paradise. First of all, Guyana is the second most densely forested country in South America after Suriname, as 3/4 of the country is covered in trees. Keep in mind though, the country is actually made up of 5 natural regions: a fertile marshy plain on the coast, the white sand belt inland made up of sand and clay, where most of the mineral deposits are located, the lush rainforest highland, and if you go way far south, you can get a little bit of desert and savanna in the interior, and then you get the interior savanna lowlands along the border with Brazil. Guyana sits on what is called the Guyana Shield, an elevated geological formation on South America north of the Amazon. This area essentially creates some of the most beautiful iconic waterfalls and all of the strange flat-top Tepuy mountains, including the tallest peak in Guyana, Mount Roraima, shared by Venezuela and Brazil, even though Brazil only has like 5% of it, but hey, it still counts. The longest river is of course the easily visible from satellite images Essequibo River, which pretty much transects the entire country east to west and is a major source of transport and trade in Guyana. In the forest you can find thousands upon thousands of species of mammals and birds and reptiles like the three-toed sloth, tamanduas, tamarins, capuchins, capybaras, pacas, over 50 different types of bats, which make up like 1/5 of all the mammals, and the national animal, the jaguar, can be found here as well. Resource-wise, agriculture and mining has been the most important economic activity, with sugar, bauxite, rice, and gold making up about 3/4 of all export earnings. Yes, gold. Nonetheless, even though exports have been steadily increasing over the years, Guyana still remains one of the poorest countries in the Western Hemisphere. Luckily, Guyana gained the world's attention when major companies like ExxonMobil and Shell discovered high-quality oil-bearing sandstone reservoirs holding potentially $40 billion in crude revenue oil 120 miles off the coast. If Guyana wins the appeal at the UN, this could potentially boost their economy, as they currently have no oil production. The national food of Guyana is the Amerindian dish pepper pot. Typically, the pot is reheated with new meats added every day, sometimes even for months. Other top natural spots include places like the Three Sister Lakes, including Mainstay Lake that looks like a lake of Coca-Cola due to the minerals, the Rapapuni area in the interior of the country surrounded by vast savannas, forests, and mountains, the annual rodeo event and safari that lets visitors get close to the wild and rugged interior, the beautiful Iwakrama rainforest, of course a section of Roraima Mountain, which you can get close to by taking Roraima Airways that leaves from Eugene F.
Yeah, I've seen that mountain in like previous, videos, but that thing is so cool. I just love, just how flat, it looks like someone in there kind of chiseled at it, so that looks cool. Like the Coca-Cola water, is that like weird when you like swim in it or something? I don't know. That's kind of crazy to me. Yeah, look at that. That's cool, man. How flat that is. All the fog, man. It looks like it's something out of like a movie, man. It's cool.
Of Roraima Mountain, which you can get close to by taking Roraima Airways that leaves from Eugene F. Correa Airport, and the iconic national symbol Kaider Falls, the widest single-drop waterfall in the world. Quite a fascinating place with physical diversity, very much like the people of this country.
Discover your
We are
family
going to
history.
skip this commercial. 3, 2, 1, bam.
Guyana is honestly like one of the strangest demographical anomalies in the world because most of the population has ethnic roots that are not even indigenous to the continent. First of all, the country has about 740,000 people and has a high emigration rate in which around 500,000 Guyanese citizens live abroad. The largest group, the East Indians, make up about 43%, 30% are blacks with African descent, about 16% are mixed, about 10% are Amerindian, and the remainder of the population is mostly made up of Europeans, mostly Portuguese, as well as a few Chinese tossed in there as well. They also use the Guyanese dollar as their currency, currency. They use the type A, B, D, and G plug outlets, and they are also one of the only 2 countries in South America that drives on the left side of the road. Going back to the Amerindians, there are 9 indigenous tribes recognized in this country, and historically, the Locono and Kalina tribes dominated the areas that Guyana encompasses today. So you're probably wondering by now, okay, how on earth did Guyana become such a mini India? Well, to answer that, you basically have to know a little bit of history. In a nutshell, tribes were the first ones here. Columbus passes by, but doesn't care to enter. The Dutch come in, failed at finding El Dorado. The British sneak in without the Dutch knowing, but then the Dutch were like, whatever, fine, take it. And that's when the British were like, sir, slavery has been abolished.
Oh, but there's still lots of work to be done. How can we get really cheap labor that's almost like slavery, but still kind of technically not? If only we Brits had another territory full of indentured servants to exploit and capitalize off of.
Oh, yeah! Yeah, Scotland put up too much of a fight, so they settled for India. Most of the East Indians in Guyana are from the Bhojpuri-speaking areas of North India. However, today, many of them have lost their ability to speak it and settle only for English or Creole. To this day, Guyana is one of the only 3 countries outside of Asia in which Hinduism is an official religion practiced by over a quarter of the population. Nonetheless, Christianity is the predominant religion, as about 2/3 of the population adheres to the faith, mostly in the Protestant branch. Guyana is the only South American country in which English is the official language, spoken by everyone regardless of background. However, the majority of the country also speaks Guyanese Creole. The Creole here is a slightly altered version of English with an Indian and African influence, and most of it is written in a very simplistic phonetic format. For example, Georgetown is Georgetown. Every day is every day. Ricefield is Ricefield, and so on. Because Guyana is incredibly racially heterogeneous, Scoots, what's the word? Heterogeneous?
I think it's heterogeneous.
Heterogeneous. They've sort of kind of developed a really cool cultural integration method in which everyone takes part in everyone's lives, traditions, and customs. Almost everyone in the country has a relative that is either Hindu, Christian, Muslim, or maybe even Baha'i or Buddhist. As a kid, you're taught to call elders your auntie or uncle, even if they are complete strangers and a completely different race. Everyone celebrates everyone's holidays regardless of their belief system. Everyone takes part in the colorful holly or pagua. Everyone has a Christmas tree at Christmas, and everyone flies kites on a beach on Easter. And even during Eid, everyone shares in the food. They even have their own version of carnival called mashramani. Oh, and the British influence is still very noticeable. Everyone loves cricket, and they totally eat Marmite. Which, by the way, British and Kiwi geography peeps, send me more.
Man, you guys looks like you guys have a lot of fun, man. All those activities you guys be doing and the parties, and man, seems like you guys just know how to have fun over there. It seems like.
Still very noticeable. Everyone loves cricket, and they totally eat Marmite. Which, by the way, British and Kiwi geography peeps, send me more Marmite. I love that stuff. All I have left is this.
I heard that stuff is nasty, though. I've never tasted it, but I've heard it's nasty. Maybe you guys can tell me in the comments if it's nasty or not.
Marmite. Which, by the way, British and Kiwi geography peeps, send me more Marmite. I love that stuff. All I have left is this tube of Vegemite. I don't know how to explain it. I just crave Marmite. Nonetheless, Guyana does have its struggles. 80% of the people with tertiary education move out, causing a sort of brain drain that limits Guyana's ability to progress in certain fields and industries like medicine and education and engineering. Also, you know, there was that whole Jim Jones People's Temple cult incident thing that happened in the late 70s, but hey, those were all Americans, not Guyanese people. Sorry, I had to mention it. It was like the craziest thing that ever happened in their country. Some of the most notable people with Guyanese descent might include classic artists like Soul Ray, Ken Snake Hips Johnson, R.B. Greaves, Godfrey Cambridge, William Austin, Emmy Award journalist Asha Blake, politician Sharath Rampal, athletes Mark McCoy, Ezekiel Jackson, and Mr. Universe Hugh Ross, musicians Eddie Grant, Philly Knott, who even has a statue in Dublin, model Shakira Bakshkane, Leona Lewis has a Guyanese father, and Rihanna has a Guyanese mother, and a lot more, but we'd best move on to the final stretch of this episode.
Discover your family
A lot of
history.
famous people there, man. As we skip another commercial.
Episode. Now, because Guyana is so diverse, they kind of have an advantage when it comes to diplomatic outreach. Brazil is like Guyana's personal trainer. They help them with military training, and if anything goes down, they will step in and help Guyana should anything arise. Now, India is like the estranged mother that lost her baby and finally reunited, but has years to catch up on. In addition to a loving, cordial relationship with her long-lost child, India likes to help fund development facilities for things like agriculture and information technology. However, their best friends would probably be Suriname and Trinidad and Tobago. Suriname is like the Dutch-speaking little brother, and Trinidad is like the girl that they both have a crush on and compete for. All 3 countries have been close since day one, each has a high East Indian and Hindu population, and they all share so much in terms of culture and business. In conclusion, there is no one type of Guyanese person, and if you meet one, you still haven't even seen a fraction of the whole picture. The only way to scratch the surface of Guyana is to simply book a flight and step on the surface. Stay tuned, Haiti is coming up next.
80. Wow, man, you guys got And it's hard to get around your country though, man. But I guess most of it's kind of on the coast, you know. Kind of curious. They didn't really mention about tourism, you know, like hotels on the beaches and stuff. Because or just hotels in general, because it looks like you guys got cool activities and festivals and still a lot of fun parties and stuff. So it's pretty awesome, pretty awesome. So, anyways, guys, I hope you like this video. Please hit that like and subscribe. And remember, doing the entire alphabetical order. So, yes, I hope you guys continue the journey with me. So, it's a lot of fun. And yeah, anyways, yeah, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in future videos. Thank you. Peace. Thank you for watching. I'm out of here.